Wearing this watch makes me feel like I'm about to step in a DeLorean with Marty McFly and Dr. Brown. The retro funky vibe is unbeatable, and I'm here for it. Casio are the wallet-friendly digital watch kings, and this Casio World Time is outrageously good value for money. Let's dive straight in. From smoking pipes to calculators, cameras, keyboards, and of course digital watches. Since the quartz crisis, Casio has been the leaders in the digital watch world, and with the release of the 1200WH in 2012, that status was firmly cemented. The World Time is also called the Casio Royale, resembling the vintage Seiko that was featured in James Bond movie Octopussy. The 80s. With that watch no longer available to purchase, this Casio takes its place for those Bond fans. So let's get into this kind of busy dial with the digital representation of an analog clock which always displays on the home time. Top right, we have a window that shows whether the alarm or hourly chime are on, and then we move on to the main feature, the world map, showing which time zone you are currently in. On the bottom we have the time, date and day function. It's an automatic calendar that goes up to the year 2099. There are 4 time zones saved here that you can quickly switch through if you're travelling or want to know what time it is across the world. Hello London. The next screen is the world time with 31 country options. This is the cool part. As you move through these time zones, the black time zone marker highlights where you are in the world. A feature like this on a watch will usually cost you thousands, and so the value for money on this Casio is really something else. We then move on to the alarm section where you can set up 5 alarms, with the countdown timer, stopwatch, and then back to the home page. I'm not really sure what else you would need on a digital watch. It's also 100 meters water resistant, and the backlight is pretty impressive. Dimensions, it's 40mm across, 45 lug to lug, 12.5mm thick and 39 grams. The bracelet is folded links, 4 levels of micro adjustment, the clasp is signed Casio, and it's a 2-button deployment. It's easy to switch straps and switch up the style, although I did have some issues adjusting it myself, but maybe that's just me. It's an acrylic dial and a resin case. The bracelet, 4 pushers and the case back are stainless steel. There are multiple versions of this watch and different straps that go very well with it. Here are a couple, but let me know if you've got a different version and what your thoughts are. So let's get into the pros and cons. The pros, there's a lot of pros for this watch. If you're planning a trip around the world, this watch will be your best friend. Not only for the time zones, but it's incredibly comfortable, light, and obviously very functional. I say comfortable, this bracelet in particular isn't the most comfortable, but there are plenty of great options out there. It's a very adaptable watch. I find myself wearing this when I'm hanging around the house, going out, playing sport. It kind of works with everything and just really looks cool. The value for money here is simply outstanding. There really isn't a watch in this price range that comes close to the features of this watch. So in terms of cons, it took a little bit of time to figure out this watch. You're going to potentially have to read the instructions a few times. It can be a tad confusing as to what feature you're on, whether it's the homepage or the world time section as well. So there is a little bit of a learning curve for the operations of this thing. The actual time section is a little on the small side, making it not the most legible watch at times. The shadow from the date box also kind of covers the text, making it a little hard to read. It's obviously cheaply made with the acrylic crystal and folded link bracelet. Some would say the colours are slightly off. I'm personally a little bit colourblind, so it doesn't really matter to me. Finally, the search button can sometimes be hit accidentally on the wrist, or if it's in your pocket or in your coat, changing the time zone and potentially leaving you a little bit confused. But let's be real here, for $30 this watch is momentous. There's simply nothing like it, and it's no wonder this watch is in most watch collectors' collections. With its vintage techie look, adaptable style, reliability, and every function you could want in a watch, this is definitely one of the best timepieces ever made. It's as simple as that. Cheers to you Casio for once again knocking it out of the park. Let me know in the comments if you've got one of these watches or you're thinking about buying one. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Cheers!